Artistic greetings to you from Creative Solace Studios. My name is Kathleen Arola-Johnson, and in this episode of a 5-minute art journal lesson, the 5 supplies that we will be using are monochromatic. So choose one color that you want to focus on today, and let's play. The 5 materials are washi tape. If you don't have that, you're welcome to cut masking tape so it's thinner, or you can just skip this step if you don't have any tape at all. The other supplies that I will be using are watercolor paint. This happens to be Winsor Newton. Fluid acrylics. This one is from Golden. And a couple pens. These are the Ecoline brush pens. And Jelly Roll gel pens. Use whatever supplies you have on hand, whether they're wet supplies like paint or dry supplies like markers. Think about a playful attitude and experiment. This is kind of like a science experiment today with one color to see the different ways that one color can present itself on our art journal. Assemble your supplies and let's begin. To start with, I'm using the washi tape to section off the paper in a grid. So I will have different sections for each of the supplies. If you don't have this, you could do this with pencils, or you could just skip this step altogether. If you're using dry materials like crayons or colored pencils, this step might not even be necessary for you, but it gives a nice section, a nice format to our project. I'm finding out that the longer you keep washi tape, the stickier it gets on the roll. So if you have washi tape that you're just admiring in your art supplies, make sure that you use it before it gets too sticky and old and rips. Doesn't matter how many sections you have in your grid. I'm starting with more of a dry brush, but just a tiny bit of water because there's no water in my paints right now. So I'm doing one section of this color without a lot of water, then I'm dipping it back into my water and doing another section that is lighter in color, and I'm even going to dab a little bit of that off. Going on to my other color of blue, lighter and darker in one, and then I'll try a more vibrant shade right in this. We're halfway done with our time, so I'm picking up the pace. Over here, I am going to mix the 2 colors of watercolor, see what becomes of that. And lay down one of each color down here that I will add some of the fluid acrylic on top of. And the fluid acrylic by itself. And with more water. I am done with those paints. Now breaking out the brush pens. A couple times right here where I'm going to activate it with some water. This paper did not get it to move around quite as much as I like, so it's looking scribbly. So I'm going to add some more in there. I'm going to do one, I touched it to the water, so it's not adding very well. I'm going to add some paint in the corners to that one. And then do a light dry one up there. And a dry marker over there. Last 30 seconds, I am adding some patterns with the Jelly Roll gel pens. Stripes, polka dots, this one is dry, so I am going to also add some vertical lines across this one. You could let them all dry and then play with some patterns on top of them too. That's where I'll stop with this one. You could definitely continue on with this project after it's dry. It would even look fun with a pop of white gesso or white acrylic paint in some little patterns on top of some of these. But here's our main idea of 5 supplies in a monochromatic grid where we're playing and experimenting with colors today. I forgot to mention that I'm waiting for them to dry before I peel the tape off. The paint is mostly dry, so let's do our big reveal. Carefully peeling the tape off. To reveal the sections of the grid. It's looking a little bit like a quilt. It does help to peel the tape at a slight angle rather than straight to get it to peel carefully. And if some of the paint seeped underneath the tape and the lines aren't exactly crisp and clear, then so be it. That's how it is. Beautiful.